Welcome back to the Flagmantle podcast. You're joined by Rulka and Stuart Sterling in the studio. It's episode 22, mate. Recap of the round. Geelong versus Fremantle. It's been a huge week for Fremantle. The train is rolling, mate. Flagmantle is back on.
I'm back on board, baby. Like I never left. Never in doubt, honestly, real car. We both predicted this would happen. It happened. Freo beat Geelong, never in doubt. 100% on it all the time. Totally knew our season was fine when we were 2-5. But yeah,
Wait,
look.
so you're saying you believe Flagmantle was, happening the whole time?
Yeah, you can actually watch back our old podcast or listen back and
No, mate, you sounded like the whole world was burning.
No, I never said anything negative in my life. Especially about the Fremantle Dockers. I was never negative Nancy about them.
The hate speech out of these bodies were just next level.
No,
I was trying to stop this thing from burning down, mate.
No, I totally wasn't contacted by local authorities to make sure I was okay. Like that.
You're now banned in 12 countries, mate.
The
amount of language you used.
I actually can't go into Coburn anymore. Their training facility. I'm not allowed.
Check around your.
I go bad.
Your ankle. You got an ankle bracelet. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've always been on board for Flagmantle and play the speedy recap song Real Car. The Fremantle Dockers beat the Geelong Cats by 29 points, notching up their third straight victory with 100-plus points scored. For me, this was the Smalls, mate. This was the Smalls really into the game. Our small forwards were really productive, pushed right high up the ground. And whenever we're trying to transition the ball, it was always into open space, and it was always Frederick, Schultz, Switter. Outside of that, it was the midfield. The midfield dominated in a way. Geelong haven't been dominated this year. They got smashed around the ball. Sarong, Brayshaw completely took over this game. O'Meara as well, and Sean Darcy was good too. It was an all-around effort by the team. Look, I think we deserve the win.
Mate, I'm backing you up with those stats. Our whole midfield just lifted. Kane Corns, he did analyse the end of the game, and he actually did see that the Fremantle midfield actually stood up. Andrew Brayshaw had 33 disposals, 3 votes. You could argue Caleb Sarong, 2 votes. He was outstanding as well. And Jager O'Meara was amazing as well. Arguably his best game for the club. His clearance work and his ball work was just next level. He's really connected with the group, hasn't he, mate? He looks much more settled, and he knows what his role is now. And I think he's found his groove. And I think the haters of Jager O'Meara at the start of the season, I was a bit iffy because, everyone was expecting great things. But at the end of the day, he did have to adjust to a new playing group, and I think he's starting to find his groove. And I think we're seeing only the tip of the iceberg with what Jager O'Meara can do for the rest of the year. So I think Jager O'Meara could easily take a couple votes if he continues this form. Jager O'Meara's had a good solid 3 weeks since Fremantle's jumped back on the motives and whatnot. Speaking of a few highlights of a few players, Bailey Banfield had an outstanding game, one of his best games for the club. He seemed like he was everywhere, even though he didn't blow up the stat sheet. His running carry and where he was in the right time was just next level.
Yeah, his leading patterns were great, and he played on Tom Stewart on the weekend and really held him. I think he held him to 17 touches, and Banfield had 20. So Bailey Banfield definitely beat Tom Stewart in this matchup, and he did that by presenting at the ball, sucking him into contests, and working him over out the back. And
plus the Banfield banana, mate.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Banfield banana.
Well, yeah, right. It was a perler. Shout out to the commentator who did make that broom reference.
Perler, absolutely. How great's the commentating? We need to get his name because he's always on Freo games and he's pretty good at it. Also, a few others. Lockie Schultz. I swear whenever he's in good form, Fremantle always win. Lockie Schultz is the barometer for our club. Sean Darcy has to be discussed as All-Australian ruckman right now. He's up there with Tim English. Tim English and Sean Darcy, I think, in terms of effectiveness, Sean Darcy is dominating that scheme, and I think Sean Darcy's right now, a lock for the All-Australian on-field ruckman. And I'll stand by that.
No. Tim English is...
How are you... No.
Because I look at the facts, mate. I look at the facts and I watch the games and I see the numbers. Tim English is the number 1 ranked player, or number 1 ranked ruckman this year, and it's not even close. It's unbelievable, the gap between English and the next guy, and that includes Gawn and Grundy, who are obviously sharing a bit of a load, but I think Sean Darcy
It goes second. It's second.
Yeah, but I don't think he's good enough to make the team, because traditionally they have picked 2 ruckmen, or they've liked to have a second ruck as a forward or something like that. I don't think Darcy's up to scratch. I think a midfielder or another forward would beat him out.
Okay, so Tim English, you are right. He's the highest rated ruckman, apparently, according to Champion Data.
Yeah.
He influences matches, more better than any other.
Read his numbers out though.
But
read them out.
His stats are like next level. I think it's 30. He's playing more effectiveness. I think he's playing 35% more game time in the position. Plus he has more effectiveness. That's the big one.
Okay.
So he's playing more game time. Luckily, because he's quite the fit bloke. But we could all talk about Tim English. But at the end of the day, Sean Darcy he's a top 3 ruckman.
He's been good.
He's a lot top 3 ruckman, and he should be still in the discussions for All Australian bench ruckman if you want to put him in, because he's got
to go to the next level, I think, for that.
Keep it form up and whatnot.
But yeah, he's sort of tracking that way a little bit.
Luke Ryan,
yes,
had a great game as well.
Made a post about him just not too long ago.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Luke Ryan is he's doing God's work at the moment. All Australian back pocket, in my opinion. His stats are elite. You've seen him. They're elite in a lot of areas, and he's above average in intercept possessions. The only reason why I could argue that it's not elite is only because he's clamping down on these premium A grade opposition forwards. So he did keep Cameron to 0 goals. So pretty much stopped
he did have
Cameron
4 shots on goal, but I thought they were in really non-dangerous positions, and I think Luke Ryan worked him over well to put him in spots that would result in lower percentage shots on goal. So yeah, I think Luke Ryan was fantastic you could argue, against Geelong, and
you could argue,
a good season.
Absolutely, you could argue that the whole team didn't have no one had a stinker at all. No one had a stinker.
No one had a horrendous game.
You could also argue Alex Pearce is in some great form as well at the moment. Also kept Tom Hawkins only down to 1 or 2, I'm pretty sure. But
Tom Hawkins kicked 3 goals too.
Really?
He had a big game, the Tomahawk, but a few of those Alex Pearce couldn't really impact. And I thought Pearce had the advantage on Hawkins for the majority of game. And Hawkins wasn't too dangerous, because normally Hawkins...
I thought he led up really well though, Alex Pearson. Still kept the line. He kept the line in shape. I should have known this. I think because Tom Hawkins was coming back. I think it was the 3rd quarter that they came back within 4 points. They could have.
Well, Hawkins kicked one out of the ruck, which Alex Pearce can't do anything about. Hawkins kicked one from a bit of a soft free kick, I think it was, which... As a defender, you give those away. And then I think he beat him once to kick one as well. So, look, Alex Pearce can't do a whole lot wrong at the moment, which is good. Obviously, his kicking is still to be desired, but we haven't seen him turn the ball over in a few weeks, which is nice. So, yeah, I think our backline is shaping up nicely with Pearce, Ryan, and I think Coxie played a bit of a...
Like a roaming.
Yeah, he didn't
really
have
well.
a great game.
He played on
Jack Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah, and he kicked 2. I don't think it was a great game by Cox, but the rest of the back line stood
Everyone's
up.
going to have a bummer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ankle wanker.
Those comments didn't really display a gratitude for the hard work that others had put into him.
Fucking stick!
First coming off, George.
Fucking get him off!
Yeah,
Get Vincent off!
he's coming off. Get him back off. Get him off. Get him off. Get him off.
Vincent off!
Rocket.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know. Oh, no.
That's Real Cards Rant.
Oh, okay.
We can do that
we'll get to that
altogether.
later. I have an anchor wanker, and this has nothing to do with the Fremantle Football Club, but it's another football club or a football entity. The AFL, they employ interchange stewardesses for every game, and it's their part-time job, and they have to count to 75.
You're
and
advertising this job to the public.
Yeah, because someone's lost their... Oh, God, okay. Okay, would you like to be...
Wait.
Okay. That was fine. Oh. Would you like to... I don't know, match fix? Would you love to make sure North Melbourne don't win any more games?
100%.
Can you not count to 75?
No.
Oh, good. That's perfect, because we need you. We'll give you $50 and a sausage sizzle if you come down to Marvel
I'm just
Stadium.
there for the sausage sizzle. I don't need the $50.
Okay. Okay, we'll give you 2 sausages then.
Bloody beautiful.
Yeah, come down to Marvel once a week and completely stuff up the North Melbourne Football Club. It was a bit sad the way that game ended, wasn't it? Because North Melbourne really deserved to win that, and Clarko had stepped away from the club, and they'd put on quite a good show against the Swans. And then obviously the interchange messed up.
Well, there was also a bit of confusion around the side as well with I think it was Dane Rampy. I think it was Rampy from the Swans. He's injured, but he's down on the bench trying to help the players and whatnot. He was one of the first ones to alert the umpies down on the field. Upstairs, they knew straight away, and they were like, making sure this, gets penalised and whatnot. But Sydney had heard it from the umpires to North Melbourne. You've breached. And they were going to tell, but Dan Rampy, because he knew how much time there was on the clock, he ran out there and he, started yelling at the umpires, breach, they, 50 meters. And then the umpires were like, oh, crap. And they were given directions. And the fellow was like, given, he hold a play. It was like, okay, yep. Okay, breach of the rotation rule. Your ball, Sydney. 50 meters as well, so top of the goal square, and as a goal.
Yeah.
So
really cruel. McLean, I think. Yeah.
Really cruel to North Melbourne. Very cruel, but at the end of the day, rules, and we've got to leave it. But
they've had a really rough year, North. I don't think they needed that.
Alistair Clarkson's out, and speaking of coaches, Dimmer is out as well.
Damien Hardwick.
Yeah.
Quit the Richmond Football Club this morning.
Off to Ibiza, apparently. Ibiza?
Well, Dustin Martin suggested it, and he said maybe not, but... Damien Hardwick, he does love his medical plants.
100%.
And he has talked about them a lot before, so maybe he'll get on those soon. Maybe that's what he'll do in retirement. Who knows?
100%. Time for Purple Pants, though. Yes. Purple Pants.
Hooray!
That's right, where we talk about the Purple Pants Player of the Week, brought to you by Pipe Makers.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, this is a purple beanie.
Yeah.
But we'll get some purple pants at some point.
Purple Pants Pipe Makers.
Yeah.
Pipe Makers Purple Pants.
Yeah.
Of the week.
They make pipes, by the way, in case you didn't know.
100%.
Pipemakers.com.au.
Go check them out.
If you need pipes for whatever reason.
100%.
They've got you covered. So, Purple Pants Player of the Week. We both do our picks. I've gone with Ethan Hughes this week. He finally got coaches' votes for, I think, the first time in his career. Someone needs to check on that.
Yes, I think so indeed. Let's have a look.
The thing is, you posted a really not nice meme about Ethan Hughes right after the game.
I'm really sorry.
Right after the game, and everyone was so heated in the comments. So I just want to shout out to Ethan Hughes. You played your role beautifully, and you had a cracking game on the weekend. You're my Purple Pants Player of the Week. Good job, Ethan Hughes. Well done. You can't do that, mate. I'm being nice. Being nice.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's your Purple Pants Player of the Week?
Purple Pants Player of the Week goes to none other than Jai Miss. Mate, don't worry. Screw the Eastern media. They don't understand how much of a rig you are, how many games you've just put back to back. I don't understand the common sense. Yes, Josh Weedle had a great game on stats and paper. Weddle, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon.
The Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
But my grandma could have easily had 43 touches, 3 goals against West Coast. They were like traffic cones. They didn't move or anything. They gave zero effort if you watch that
Man,
game.
I would have looked like Gary Ablett Jr. in his prime.
100%. So I think there was like 6 or 7 Hawks players who had career best like days. In terms of disposals, Lloyd Meek had like over 25 touches or something, or
that's
20,
huge.
20 touches as a ruckman. So he had a day out against Williams. So shout out to Lloyd Meek, I love you, baby.
Come back.
Yes, yeah, please. Jai Miss though, he's going to be incredible. No one's really talking too much about him over East, and when he kicks 6 against Melbourne, I'm sure they will recognise him for the Rising Star nomination, hopefully. Did
you know that Roy Lobb, he is rated as a below average key forward by Champion Data, the same rating as 19-year-old Jai Amos, who has about 10 games to his name, and significantly lower than 21-year-old Luke Jackson, who is rated above average as a key forward. So Rory Lobb,
That is outstanding
thank
stuff,
you,
Thomas.
thank you for going. Cheers, Bulldogs. Very, very nice. I loved it. Can we do Real Cars rant? Because I've got a rant,
100%.
and it's kind of about the same thing.
Okay, Tissot, let's go.
This week, a hot new bombshell enters the villa.
It's Rilka with a rant.
Oh my god, he's gonna kill us!
That's right, Rukar's rant. Mate, as I said before, giant miss.
Vic Media.
It's Vic. It's Vic Media.
Vic Media. What is this Rising Star Award? What is it? Is it the Vic Rising Star Award?
100%.
Josh Weddle, Mateus Philippou. Who else is getting it?
I hate the comments, mate. Like, honestly, the amount of it's hypocriticism in the comment section with the players saying and all the fans. They're like, he had Jaimis had 9 disposals, and I'm like,
That's not his job.
Mateus Philippou had 12 disposals, and that's as a
like
midfielder.
4 tackles or something.
Yeah, 4 tackles and a goal, and
Not even a goal. He had, like-
potential mark of the year in that game too. But that wasn't it.
Yeah.
That was not
Okay.
it. Jaimis kicked 3 or 4 and was against a much more.
Here is
harder opponent.
my problems with it, right? So in the past, Mateus Philippou, Bailey Humphrey, all these other guys have won the award based on form, right? So they've gone, okay, you've had 2 or 3 weeks that have been really good, and maybe this week you haven't been so good, but we're just going to give you the thing anyway. Jai Amos has put together a cracking month, and Josh Weddle just pops up, has one good game, and gets it. Where's the same logic? Jai Amos had better games than guys that have got it in the past and got, received the nomination for a group of work, like this chunk of work.
100%.
But then when Amos puts in a chunk of work, it's given to someone who's just had a one-off good game. And I don't think it's fair, so I'm going to be doing something new, Real Car. I'm going to be creating the Outside of Victoria Rising Star Award.
Yes.
Yes.
Good
and
stuff, mate. 100%.
Jai Amos
it's
is
the initiative. It's the initiative we've
Jai
always
Amos
needed, mate.
is leading it by the length of the
5 football fields.
Yeah,
mate.
5 football fields, 5 Optus stadiums, long. Jai Amos, mate.
As long as we can sleep better
Actually,
at night,
Ruben
that's all that
Jimby
matters.
would be doing well too.
Yeah, he would. 100%.
But
yeah.
Amos deserves a
I
nod
love
at
Ruben.
some point.
Ruben
Yeah.
Jimby, come to Fremantle. You're a Fremantle fan at heart. But at the end of the day, it's time for questions because it's near the end of the potty.
Mate, you sent the bloody questions in, so we're going to bloody answer them. That's how it works here. You're listening to Q&A here on Flagmantle Podcast.
Yeah, mate. Bloody questions.
All right. First question.
Thanks for the questions.
HS wins pair 2011. Do you think we can beat the D's? We will talk about that on tomorrow's podcast.
100%.
Rig Big Boats. Do you think we're playing Hughes, or why do you think we're playing Hughes over Brody? I hate this argument. This is the most illogical, irrational
I
argument
feel
ever.
bad for Brody, man.
They have 2 completely different roles in 2 completely different positions. You can't replace Brody for Hughes, or else you're having to play Sarong or Brayshaw or
in a Sean Darcy role.
in a half-back role or something stupid like that. They're not the same role, and that's why Brody got dropped to keep Amira in the squad. The Tahani J, how hard will it be to break into the 22 for other players? I think pretty hard.
It
I think
is.
pretty
It
hard.
is
The team
really
is
hard at the
settled.
moment. There's only 2 people on the injury list, and credit to Phil Merriman from the Melbourne Football Club who came over to Fremantle. He has revolutionised our injury list in 2 years. I don't want him to ever leave Fremantle, and I think he's done an excellent job. So hats off to Phil Merriman. But yeah, it's a testament to of what his work is. So he's got 2 on the injury list, and the competition for spots are very hard to find. And I think Fremantle are blessed in this position, and I think the players will have to use it to their advantage as well. This is the perfect opportunity to get games into these players and build up your depth at, Waffle, and then create the powerhouse that we want to be in the next, 5 years, which Fremantle have said they want to be a powerhouse in the AFL. And if they want to live up and stand up to that goal, just like Richmond did, they want to win 3 premierships by 2020. They did achieve that. Nothing is out of the equation. Sorry.
As long as they stay
As
fit.
long as they stay fit. So I'm really happy with these, and it's really hard to get into the teams. But all credit to Phil Merriman. Done a great job.
It's a good thing. Jason Curedale, how good is the new ball movement? It will look silky smooth.
It's great.
Buttery smooth.
And it's been there the whole time. All it is that it's just been it's been there, like the plan, the game plan, but the movement 10 times better, less stress, and the defense is 10 times better. I love what Will Schofield from Backchat said. How it's not the midfield, it's not the forwards, it's the defense. The defense are moving the ball with much more dare, and also with
a bit more purpose.
And also they're changing their game plan to each team. They matched Geelong's spreading out, because Geelong like to spread out across the sides, and they stopped that.
The ground really fat.
And Fremantle, the reason why we made it into finals last year is because our defense was A tier. We always, had JL's a game plan tactician. I think he's done a great job over the last few weeks, and I think he's found his groove, and I hope the defenders have found their groove, and I think if we can keep this ball movement up, we can take it up to any team in the competition. It was very Richmond-esque, as Kane Corn said, and I'll back that. The handover, the ball over the top, the slap on, Bailey Banfield. It was pressure. And if the Fremantle players can keep that up, we should be winning easily, 5, 6, 7, 8, more 10 games, this season. Hopefully.
Yeah, all right.
Hopefully. But that's my optimism right there. Time for a pessimistic Stewie to take over. I'm joking, buddy.
Next question. Dion Fernandez, top 8 final predictions, and also if Freo make finals, how far will they go? Well, we'll do the predictions another time, but if Freo make finals, it depends what we look like from this point on. If we just go undefeated from now, obviously we're going to be a favourite, but if we sort of scrape in there and, our form isn't great, but we're in 8th on percentage or 7th because, the team below us had a draw and they had a much better percentage or something like that happens, I don't think we've got much a chance. It'd just be nice to get some more September experience, but
100%. Top 8 is what I want right now. Just top 8 and get a final, and hopefully a home one as well.
Mitchell Fry, when is Schultz getting another contract? Well, he's currently on the rookie list. So
and it's selfless because he had the opportunity to go onto Primer list at Hawks last year.
Yeah,
but he turned it away.
Still be getting the same amount of money, and I think this is what people don't understand about the rookie list is
it's not a bad thing.
Is the rookie list, you can only get paid $75,000 within the rookie list, right? But you can also be paid from outside the rookie list, and that's outside your salary cap. So if you wanted to pay Lockie Schultz another $200,000 outside the extra $75,000, you could do that. It still counts towards your budgeting and stuff like that, but it doesn't count towards that. Mitchell Fry, another one. The lid is off. Yep.
Mate, the lid is off.
Yep.
The bloody lid is off.
Laughing Man 92. How did O'Driscoll do on the weekend? Still seems a bit off. I tend to agree. I don't think he was up to scratch on the weekend. The numbers say he was
feeling
fine.
a bit shaky, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he looked a little bit nervous or a little bit out of touch.
Still connected, still got the stats on the end of the day, but he's not the same O'Driscoll we know, but that's what happens with young wingers. He'll find a spot.
He just needs to build, and we can give him time to do
Confidence and time in the team. That's all it will take.
Daniel Catronis, not a question, but Dockers can beat Narm. Yes, they can.
100%.
I agree.
They can. They can easily match the their game plan, and it's going to be amazing. They beat them last year, so they bring the confidence from that.
Eamon Murray. What more does Carl Warner have to do? Well, he's only a teenager, so give him some time.
We're not going to sack him after this year. I hope not. If we do, he's too valuable to let go, and I think Fremantle have got secret plans for him. He's waiting. He's going to get that debut this year. Just when is the real question.
Potentially. What he really needs
think he will.
is a bunch of injuries, which would be bad for the team. Because if
we're not wishing that, are we?
If Warner's playing, the team's not doing well. So, look, at some point he will get a shot, just not whilst we're traveling really strongly.
100%, mate. Is that the end?
That's the end of it.
The podcast. If you missed out your questions, don't worry. You can send them in at We Are Flagmantle on Instagram or Twitter. Or anything else, whatever we are on. We're not on Facebook though. We're not oldies.
No.
But yeah, so send it in on Instagram, and also if you missed out on your question this podcast, you can go to the next one that will come out later this week, and you'll find all the preview.
We're recording that now, aren't we?
100%.
Yeah, let's do it.
So don't worry.
Let's
Absolutely, let's go. See you later.